Đây là chương trình tài chính của Đài Lưới Sài Gòn TV. Chúng tôi là luật sư Tony Nguyễn SBA. Xin kính chào quý vị. Kính thưa quý vị, hôm nay chúng tôi hân hạnh được chào đón ông Oliver Shin từ ngân hàng Open Bank trở lại với chúng ta để nói chuyện về vấn đề đề tài SBA loan. Chúng tôi sẽ mời ông Shin giới thiệu mình một lần nữa và sau đó sẽ tiếp tục cái phần trình bày về SBA loan. Mr. Shin, please have a few words with the audience before we start.
Hello, my name is Oliver Shin. I'm the Senior Vice President and Director of SBA Lending at Open Bank. And I'm here to just basically give an overview about some of the SBA loan programs that are available to the community.
Thank you so much and welcome back. Last time we talked about eligible businesses and non-eligible business.
Correct.
So can you briefly go back and explain what business we can, because I know this is from my personal experience. If we buy real estate, but real estate only for your own use.
Yes.
Okay, so like office building. If we buy a shopping center, that's a no-no. We buy an apartment, that's a no-no because you don't live there.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So what if I buy an office building, a shopping center that I use more than 51% occupied,
Yes.
like I have a market? Is that possible?
Absolutely,
Okay.
yeah. So it's great that you bring up the 51% rule because that is exactly what the SBA requires when there is a acquisition of real estate. So multi-tenant real estate where you may be operating one of the businesses, you're occupying one unit, operating a business, and that business occupies more than half or more than 51% of the property, then that does qualify for an SBA loan. However, if that unit that you occupy does not encompass at least half of the property, then it would not qualify for an SBA loan. So even though SBA generally, one of the ineligible types of properties that we cannot finance are apartments, because the purpose of an apartment is you're purchasing that property with the intent to lease it out to another tenant. Now that's what SBA considers as a passive business. You are not actively operating a business on site. Some may argue that by you collecting rent from your tenants, that is you actively operating a business, but that's not part of the SBA's definition of an active business.
I see. What about office condo? I got this asked before. So if I'm buying an office condo
Sure.
for my own use, is that possible to get an SBA loan too?
Sure. Office condo, as long as you meet the occupancy requirement.
Yeah.
So if you're occupying 100% of that condo, absolutely, we can finance that through the SBA.
See. Let's talk about some other properties also, like hotel, motels,
Sure.
residential care facilities.
Now, as I mentioned before, businesses that own property with the intent on leasing it out to others do not qualify. However, motel and hotel businesses, those are considered active businesses because although you are leasing a room to a traveler, you still have other components of the business that you're still tending to, which is all of the repairs and maintenance, all of the upkeep, all of the operations of the motel. So for SBA, although the hotel motel category may fit into leasing to not a tenant but a customer, they do qualify these as long as there is one caveat, and that's for motels and hotels. They do have to be mostly short-term stays. If the hotel or motel does happen to have any long-term stays that are over 30 days, they have to make sure that at least half of the revenue that's generated by the business is from short-term stays of 30 days or less.
I see.
And another business that does kind of typically fall within the gray area would be like assisted living facilities, residential care facilities. Now, these are usually operated out of a single-family residence. If it's a smaller business, it's a single-family residence that's kind of been renovated to house patients. Now, these types of properties are eligible if they are licensed and they do give medical services. So those are two of the types of properties that do kind of confuse some borrowers as to whether they are eligible under SBA.
Thank you so much. Kính thưa quý vị, chúng tôi có hỏi ông Shin là những cái business nào mà mình có thể xin cái SBA loan, thì ông có nói sơ qua đó là những cái mà tôi đưa cái ví dụ là nếu quý vị mua real estate bất động sản, một cái office building mà mình occupy 51%, thì mình sẽ được cái loan. Hoặc là mình mua một cái office condo mà mình xài cho cái business của mình thì mình sẽ được qualify cho cái loan. Còn những cái mà apartment building mà mình rent cho người khác long term đó thì thường thường không có được. Tuy nhiên có cái exception là những cái motel, những cái hotel thì cái đó vẫn được xem như là một cái business mà mình có thể dùng để mình xin được cái SBA loan. Bên cạnh đó có những cái như là những cái facility để mà lo cho những người già, những người bị bệnh tật như là residential care thì những cái đó vẫn được xem như là vẫn được SBA cho vay tiền quý vị. So let's talk about application
Sure.
process. How easy it is for us to walk into your office or call you and say, "Look, I'm buying a building now, so can I get a loan?"
Yeah, well, the very first step that borrowers should take is a consultation. So, meet somebody at the bank, talk to somebody. We're always available. I mean, that's what we do, is to help small business borrowers. So, if you do have any questions, you always want to kind of make a list of what you're curious about, so that when you do have a consultation with the banker, you kind of have everything addressed beforehand. So, come in for a consultation. We'll try and identify what the needs are for your particular business, and we'll try and identify which program might be a good fit for financing your business. And from there, we'll kind of we'll start requesting certain documentation based on what your needs are and what your request is, and that's where we'll start asking for business tax returns, business financials, some other financial documents for us to gauge. Whether, number one, which product may be perfect for you, and number two, whether or not this is something that is feasible for your business.
Now, when you're asking for like tax returns and financial statements, do they have to be like certified or reviewed by a CPA, or they just coming with their own prepared financial statements?
So for tax returns, we usually ask for the most recent fiscal year filing, and SBA requires other financial statements that are current within 120 days of loan approval. So if we are applying for a loan today, the SBA would want something current as of beginning of October, so within 120 days. Now, those financial statements, they do not need to be necessarily CPA prepared. They could be internal financial statements. However, if they do seem like they don't encompass most of the financial of the business, the lender may request additional financials that may be CPA prepared. So it's a case by case, depends on the type of business and the amount of the request. However, at least for the initial review, we can accept internally prepared financials from the borrower.
We talked earlier about credit score also. Is a credit score important also in this SBA application process?
Well, personal credit score, we do factor that in. We do pull personal credit reports for all of the principals and guarantors. However, we put more of an emphasis on the business's capability to pay back the loan.
Cash flow.
Yes, exactly.
I see.
So although we do factor in the personal credit score, I wouldn't say that is the primary emphasis when we're looking at a SBA loan package.
How long before somebody walk in, meet with you, fill out application, consulting with you, how long would it take to get approval, and how long would it take to get the money?
Okay, so once we have a consultation and we've kind of gone through some of the some of the needs of the business and some of the financials, then we would present a letter of intent indicating the preliminary terms of the loan we're prepared to offer. And once the borrower accepts those terms and provides a small deposit for us to start ordering some reports that we need for the underwriting process, that underwriting process generally takes about 30 days. Now, depending on the type of transaction, if it's a transaction that involves the acquisition of real estate, we do need to order an appraisal on that property, and we also, SBA requires us to order an environmental report as well. So those typically take anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks to complete. So during that time, while we're waiting for the reports, we'll communicate with the borrower to collect the remaining financials and other maybe corporation documents or licenses, anything that we need for approval. But generally speaking, a loan should be approved. Our normal processing time is about 30 to 60 days.
Thank you.
And that varies between real estate loans and business loans, complexity of the transaction.
Real estate will take long because of
A little bit longer because of
appraisal.
the
I see. Thank you. Kính thưa quý vị, chúng tôi có hỏi ông Shin là một cái loan như vậy thường tốn bao lâu, thì ông ta thường nói là thường là 30 ngày ta trả lời. Tùy theo cái loan nữa, những cái loan mà chỉ có working capital hoặc là 7A thường không có tốn lâu, nhưng mà những cái loan như là 504 dùng để mà mua nhà cửa hoặc là property real estate đó, thường cái đó nó tốn lâu, tại vì vấn đề nha, mình phải có cái appraisal cũng như là phải có những cái report về vấn đề environment cho chính phủ. Chúng tôi có hỏi ông là những cái bảng lời lỗ hoặc là thuế má nó có quan trọng hay không, thì ông ta nói là rất là quan trọng. Mình không cần phải nhờ SBA certify hoặc review, nhưng mà mình có thể dùng những cái bên trong. Nếu trong trường hợp mà người ta cần cho mình biết những cái financial statement mà của SBA soạn đó, thì thường người ta cho mình biết, nhưng mà most of the time thì không cần cái đó. Một điểm khác chúng tôi có hỏi ông Shin là cái credit score mà của cá nhân, của những người làm chủ có quan trọng hay không. Ông ta nói là cũng quan trọng, nhưng mà không bằng cái vấn đề là cái cash flow, cái khả năng mà trả cái loan của trong cái business. Okay, we'll take a break real quick and then we'll come back for the second half of the program. Kính thưa quý vị, xin quý vị đừng giờ máy, chúng tôi sẽ trở lại trong giây phút.